Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen of the Scribe Tribe. It is Friday morning, and Friday mornings are my favorite day of the week. CG thinks that they can throw these galactic challenges at us and have me confused, but oh no, I'm here to hold your hand and help you through and get all these rewards, even with your trash-geared Hutt Cartel. Let's get galactically challenged. Alrighty guys, the modifiers for today's Galactic Challenge on Kashyyyk versus the Separatist under none other than GL Newt. We have the global modifier, Righteous Retribution. Whenever a unit takes damage, they gain 20% crit damage stacking until they crit. Whenever a unit is debuffed, they recover 10% protection, and whenever a unit is defeated, another random ally takes a bonus turn. Makes for some fun shenaniganry. Obviously, the player modifier is the fantastic permission buff for our Hutt Cartel, which means we cannot have our units die until our leader Hutt Cartel has lost 100% of his protection for the first time, and that will never happen to us. So no, it will not. The enemy has got malicious minions. They have 50% additional speed on their Separatist allies, summoned ones, so GBA's brute here. The max health, max protection, and damage they deal is increased by 50%. They're going to hit hard, they're going to hit fast, but we are going to be smarter, better, faster, stronger, all of these wonderful things, tribe. Alrighty, so they also get a sniper droid, but because they have GBA, they get no sniper droid, so it's easy peasy lemon squeezy. Tell me about it. All right, next up, we've got the feats, guys. We've got to win with Hutt Cartel, and that's not going to be a problem for us. We have to win with one light side and one dark side character surviving. When you're using Hutt Cartel, you've got Bushleia and you've got Skiff Guard Lando. Both of those are light side allies, and the rest are going to be dark side. Well, I'm ready for this, guys. You can get pretty much all the feats done in one battle, but I like to split it up into two because the stealth feat, I feel, is a little bit easier if your Hutt Cartel are low geared to go in with a team that you have got particularly more gear. There's a couple of teams that we can use for that stealth feat, and I'm going to hold your hand and walk you through all of it. So if you don't have Hutt Cartel, there is still something for you in this video. Right, let's get into the first team. Alrighty, so as is standard with our Hutt Cartel feats, guys, we are going to be running under Cad Bane. There's a number of reasons for this, guys. His leadership is pretty useful for these feats. Obviously, he is a Hutt Cartel leader. He's giving everybody 100% potency, which can be a bit of a double-edged sword here, because obviously the enemy is going to be recovering protection when they get debuffs. However, that potency helps us land things like shock, things like stuns, all those good juicy jazzes and those thermal detonators from our girl Bushleia. Also, our contract is to just inflict 20 debuffs on enemies. Now, we're going to be doing a lot of debuffs, so this is a really, really solid leadership. It's going to be a quick and easy contract for us to get done. Also, when we have triggered this contract, all our enemies are going to have negative 50% tenacity for the rest of the battle, and we have our payouts activated, obviously. So that minus 50% tenacity is going to stack with the additional 100% potency that we're getting, so we're basically definitely going to be landing our debuffs. Super useful when we look at people like Kassantan, who we want the shock from, Bushleia, we want to get those thermal detonators going, Boba Fett, we want his heal immunity, we want those ability blocks. Super. So, the rest of our team, as we've gone through, Boba Fett, AoE ability blocks, are able to ignore taunts, able to hit heal immunity and stop revives with his execute ability. Incredibly important. Bushleia over here is our kill mechanic. She is going to be throwing out thermal detonators after thermal detonators, and is the reason why we don't have to worry about General Grievous. Skiff Guard Lando has a few benefits. You could probably take him out and replace him with someone else. I've thrown him in here to try and help us get that stealth feat that we so desperately want to try and get. However, he does also have the ability to call people to assist, namely Bushleia. He can also put Retribution on our boy Kassantan, who will counterattack and hopefully land that shock. And that puts our last character, Kassantan. He is a perma-taunting tank that will stay alive for the entirety of the battle, which is super, super useful. Alright guys, let's get into the footage. Alright, so when we kick off the very first turn, guys, if the brute is not taunting, this makes it so much easier. So aim for a setup like this where you can get the brute not taunting at the start. Then you don't want to do any AoEs. You want to focus down exclusively on General Grievous. continue to not use AoEs so we can stack all those thermal detonators on him. Now, I use Bushlayer's Zeta in this. I think it's incredibly worthwhile and makes all these very, very easy. Using Skiff Lando's second ability, we can put Stealth on Bushlayer and call her to assist, which is going to help her put additional dots. But not only that, it's going to help us get that stealth feat. So keep focusing on General Grievous here. Throw in those grenades, super, super tasty. We've got 8 on him at the moment, and now we've got that brute taunting. So what we can do is we can still ignore the taunt with Boba Fett, which means more thermal detonators. He's got 14 thermal detonators on him right now. Booyah. Oh, we actually didn't land the additional one on the assist there. That's a bit of a shame. So here we go. We throw the bombs. Boom. General Grievous is completely gone. He is the biggest threat. Once he's out, it's more about trying to finesse it. Now, once you get to this position, what I highly recommend you do is focus on GBA when you get the chance, okay? So Brute's going to be taunting for a lot of it, but don't forget, Boba Fett can ignore those taunts. Don't do what I did here and attack the attack the Brute when he's got shock and no taunt. Just go ahead and focus on GBA. We want to try and get loads of thermal detonators on him so we can kill him and ignore that Brute for the rest of the battle. So long as they've got that, I can't remember what it's called again, but is it Deadly Foe, or it's something like that? The one that will cause Bushlayer to assist, you're looking for that blue thermal detonator icon over GBA. As long as he's got that, just try and focus him with every single attack to stack those thermal detonators. You can see we've got heal immunity on him, and he's got 6 of them at the moment. So just keep on targeting him when we can. Save Cad Bane's shock stun ability to cleanse that taunt off the Brute. And there we go. We've lost GBA right now, so all we have to deal with is a Brute that has got no support from GBA, and you've got, what, the B1 battle droid, B2, and Newt himself. This part, from here on in, guys, super easy. What I would say is, when you can, get rid of the extortion from Newt. It's going to slow down your whole team, and the enemy team will just take infinite turns. So, with Boba Fett there, you want to try and land that AoE ability block targeting Newt. That will give him 2 turns worth of ability blocks, so he can't constantly reapply that extortion and decrease your or increase your cooldowns. Once we've gotten rid of the B1 stacks, which should be very easy in this team, thanks to the assists, thanks to the thermal detonators, it really is plain sailing. You can try, like I was doing here, you can try to stall out the match at this point to try and get as much stealth on Bushlayer as you possibly can. Now, I didn't find it particularly useful just because my Lando is only gear level 8, he's only 3 stars, so oh, actually, I think he's 4. Never mind. Either way, he doesn't quite have the speed to take enough turns to try and use that second special to put stealth on her. You might have better luck if you've got a bit more gear on your Lando. You might be able to get this done. But personally, I actually think it's better to go in with 2 teams and save yourself the heartache and the hassle. Still, there's nothing wrong with putting that stealth on Leia. She is going to assist, and she's going to try to apply those thermal detonators. You don't have to worry at this point, guys, because they're not going to be able to kill you. They can only do the AoE with that B2, and honestly, it doesn't deal enough damage to worry your Cad Bane at all in the slightest. So just take your time here, whittle down the enemy team, deal with that Newt. Say you don't care about the pictures that are on your phone. You own those nudes, guys. Own it. Unless there's something that you genuinely have to be worried about to be extorted, then maybe this game is probably not the one for you. But hey, I found this one to be relatively easy. I thought it was a fun challenge because you do have to worry about a number of AoEs and being able to avoid the taunt from GBA. But once you dealt with Grievous and once you dealt with the Brute, it's actually quite a straightforward galactic challenge for us, guys. So yeah, lots of fun, super easy, barely an inconvenience, and that will get us almost every feat. The only one that I miss out on getting here is the stealth feat, but I have got a number of options for you guys if you want to get that stealth feat done with minimal hassle. So, let's just watch Bushlayer deal with this B2 Super Battle Droid. It's funny, because we're landing these debuffs, they're recovering 10% protection all the time. Little bit frustrating. However, when we're throwing those thermal detonators out with our Bushlayer, we're also dealing a significant amount of damage. There we go. We had 2 of them blow up and it took away most of his protection. Now we can just control him. Doop-a-doop-a-doo. Boba Fett can actually... I don't know why I wasn't using the execute here. Maybe I wanted to keep him stunned and ability blocked. I'm not sure. But there we go, just stacking up those thermal detonators. I should have just yeeted him. Sometimes, guys, hindsight is 20/20. But that's victory, and that will get us every feat apart from stealth. Now, let's take a look at how to get the stealth feats. But before we do, ladies and gentlemen of the Scribe Tribe, please take a minute just to hit that like button and consider subscribing to your boy Scribe, and we will continue to provide you with some juicy content on specifically how to get these galactic challenges done with minimal fuss, zero effort on your behalf, because I will do all the thinking for you, even if thinking is sometimes not my strong suit. That's right. Alright, Tribe, so the easiest way that I found to get your stealth feats done is to use the Bad Batch. They are basically tailor-made to counter Separatists. It's baked into their kit 100%, and they've got a lot of stealth mechanics and cooldown reductions on their abilities with Translate from our wonderful boy Tech. So just go in with a full cadre of Bad Batch units, guys. They are the baddest of the batch. And yeah, it's pretty straightforward. You don't really have to think about it too much. There is a lot of control and a lot of recovery on this team. So I actually think my mods were off for this one because, yeah, my Tech didn't actually take a turn second, which you really should, but I did move some mods around to help speed up my Hutt Cartel before. Just get that AoE stun out with Wrecker, excuse me, and then just start rolling out. You don't have to worry about taking out General Grievous too quickly here. I like to focus on the B2 Super Battle Droid, and the reason for that is his AoE can trigger, and then he can put buff immunity on you, which is going to stop you from getting stealth. Obviously, Tech's AoE puts stealth on everybody. Hunter's AoE puts stealth on everybody. Obviously, Wrecker is not going to be stealth simply because he gets taunt and people with taunt can't be stealthed, yada, yada, yada. But yeah, very easy. You do so much AoE damage as well that you're able to shred through the team very quickly. You might want to try and stall it out towards the end of this battle to make sure that you can actually get all the stealths. And if, like me, your Omega is only like gear 9 because until recently she just wasn't worth gearing, she's probably going to die, but you don't have to worry too much about it. Get those AoEs out there, try to get the stuns out, and just think about cycling around to lots and lots of those stealth feats. Hunter, you can swap with the person who has got the highest TM, so you can get round to his AoE stealth quicker. Okay, very easy. AoE, boom, there's an extra 3 stealths. Super easy. I found this is basically zero effort on your behalf. You don't have to focus down anybody in particular once the B2 is gone. Everybody is just going to drop like flies. The B1 stacks will die organically thanks to the true damage that you're putting out there. And I think I just sprayed spittle all over my laptop PC screen. So that was beautiful. That was beautiful. But yeah, if you don't have Bad Batch, guys, it's not the end of the world. We do have some other options available to you. If you've got GLs, again, it'll make it that much easier. Newt is going to stand around here and just try to extort us, but the Bad Batch don't really care about his extortion and just decide to shoot him in the face several times with laser guns. Super. Right then, let's get on to our next team. And the next team for me is going to be Resistance. Now, I'm going in with JTR, BB-8, C-3PO, R2-D2, and I've just thrown in Bag Bro Finn. You could probably use someone else, truth be told. The core of it is BB-8 with R2-D2 and our boy C-3PO. Let me explain. So, BB-8 is going to give us a load of speed to help us get out the gate. Not only that, BB-8 and C-3PO have really good synergy. They can play off each other, they can call to assist. Lots of cooldown decreases, easy to max out that translation. C-3PO can stealth himself when he uses his special ability, so that's 1 stealth, and R2-D2 can AoE stealth, and we could put it on BB-8, who will then counterattack whenever he gets hit, and he's going to call a Resistance ally to assist. If you've got the Zeta on Roll with the Punches, I want to call it, if you've got the Zeta on that, he's also going to call a Resistance ally to assist. The idea is to try and stack up maximum stacks of translation on R2-D2 as soon as possible, and then just constantly decrease those cooldowns with your boy C-3PO. Oh my goodness, I know, right? And that means we'll just be able to stealth the whole team very easily. Now, you do have to worry a little bit about General Grievous in this setup because all that stacking crit damage from this particular galactic challenge can make him a bit of an issue. What we don't have to worry about is that B2 Super Battle Droid taking too many turns. You've got a lot of means of stopping buffs, of stopping turn meter gain with the likes of Confusion and the likes of JTR's Days from her wave down ability, Jedi mind tricks, all that shenaniganry. Fortunately, there's quite a lot of recovery on this team as well. When BB-8 evades with his foresight, he's going to be recovering health and protection. Similarly for JTR, provided you've got those Zetas rolling. So I just tried to take this a little bit methodical, a little bit slower, because we don't want to trigger too many bonus turns from General Grievous too quickly and give us too much of an influx of burst damage. So instead, we're just going to take things a little bit slower, a little bit more methodical, and try to cycle around as many stealths from R2-D2 as possible. You can see once you've got rid of the droids, namely B1, B2, you can actually kill Grievous at that point, because he's not going to put that marked ability on one of his droid allies. He doesn't put it on GBA, and he doesn't put it on Newt. But if you do kill them while he's alive, he will take bonus turns. So just get rid of B2, get rid of B1, and then focus on Grievous for the win. Once he's out of there, there is 0 damage to worry about, because the rest of them just do not hit hard enough. And like I said, it's easy enough to get around the taunts on Brute and GBA, because you've got the likes of C-3PO stopping the buffs from a landing with his confusion, and you've got JTR there stripping the buffs, putting the daze so he doesn't counterattack. So yeah, easy peasy. You can see that Grievous over here is looking a little bit worse for wear. Obviously, when we put these debuffs, he is recovering protection, but JTR does have locked heal immunity for 2 turns, so, you know, it's really not so bad. Once you've got those triple stacks of translation on R2-D2, I'd recommend just using basics all the time with C-3PO. It's going to increase or decrease the cooldowns on R2-D2 special abilities and make everybody's life just a little bit easier to get all of those stealths out. Now, because you do have 4 allies, obviously, or yeah, 4 allies that are going to stealth when you use that stealth ability, you only have to do this 3 times in order to get that maxed out stealth feat. So very easy to do. If you happen to use the special with C-3PO as well, that's also going to give you a stealth. So it's really, really easy, guys, and you can stall out quite easily with all the special abilities and the control and the TM generation that's on this team. So I don't think that you'll be finding this one particularly difficult. You don't have to use JTR. If you've got Rey, for example, you can go ahead and use Rey, and that will give you a little bit more survivability. But I try to make these galactic challenges sort of widely available to everybody that doesn't happen to have a GL. I very rarely go ahead and show you how to use a GL to beat these, because I figure if you've got a GL, most of the times, 9 times out of 10, it works 60% of the time, no matter what you do. Stealth feats. Beautiful. And finally, for one last team that we can use, you can go in with a OG Maul lead. Now, OG Maul's leadership starts all your Sith allies under stealth. Convenient, right? That's 5 stealths right out the gate. Also, whenever they get hit, they've got a chance of stealthing themselves. So I'm going in here with Darth Maul. We're going in with DR, Malak, and Bastila Shan Fallen, because they're just good units. Go figure. Malak in particular is very useful for this ability. And you just go in and stall it out. Now, I did find I lost everybody apart from Malak in this setup, but you absolutely 100% get the stealth feat done. So you've got means of stealthing with Maul's AoE, you've got means of stopping TM gain with the shocks from both Bastila Shan Fallen and from DR's AoE. You've got a lot of fear to control the team. Now, the problem with this one is you do put a lot of debuffs, which means there's a lot of control for the enemy team, but also it's a little bit harder to get rid of General Grievous, and he'll basically kill the entire field. This is not an ideal setup, and there's probably a better team to use, but I was being far too lazy trying to think of yet another team to give you guys. I'm not an endless font of knowledge, guys, as much as you might think. I also don't have all the time in the world to constantly do these videos, but hey-ho. What's good is that, you know, the additional fear that you get from Malak in this team does help give additional levels of control on the team. I like to try and get rid of GBA just so that we can start ignoring taunts quicker. We can't really work around that General Grievous too quickly, so you do have to think about try to get rid of their capabilities of taunting. Yeah, there's just too many debuffs on this team to effectively make it a solid control. And obviously, you do have to keep paying that extortion. Now, the benefit of paying the extortion here is that General Grievous's damage is actually based on his max health. So he doesn't actually benefit from having the extortion payout paid. It's only the other characters, and honestly, they don't really deal enough damage. The only true damage dealer in this team is General Grievous. But obviously, we haven't really got a means of killing him, because once he loses all that protection, he's going to put that marked ability on either B2 or B1, most likely B2 until he's dead. Well, not most likely, 100% B2 until he's dead. You see, Grievous there just did one hit and wiped out basically the entire team. But it's actually okay, guys. Just focus down the GBA, kill him slowly, and then have Malak solo the rest. The problem is obviously the B2 is going to be putting buff immunity on your character, which will stop the... it will stop you from getting that stealth done. But once he's dead, obviously you can't do it, and you'll survive long enough to eventually get all the stealth feats done. Cleanse that extortion when you can. I'm not going to make you watch the rest of this video, guys, because it takes about an hour and a half. But hey, it's an option for you if you have it. Let's skip ahead to the end. Oh my days, I could have written a book, edited it, written the sequel, gone out on a, publishing run, and come back and I still would be in this battle. But hey, it works. It works. All right, guys. So that's going to about do it for today's Galactic Challenge. We were galactically challenged by the Separatists today, but your boy Scribbled helped you out. So, give me a like and subscribe and all that good jazz. Guys, I love you all so much, and I hope you have the wonderfulest of weekends. Get ready to kick some ass in that 3v3. I hope your round 1 went well. Look out for my round 3 video recap. Round 3 video recap? Round 1 3v3 cap coming up very, very shortly. Peace out and big love.
Just giving a quick shout out to my patrons. I appreciate each and every single one of you, and without your support, I wouldn't be doing this today. Thanks so much.